What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about something, a rather obscure-ish game that I actually surprisingly want to talk about, honestly, because I always talk about the Mario stuff, and Nintendo's still not releasing anything interesting, at least the time of this recording at this point. Yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and talk about one particular Nintendo game that's rather obscure. The Nintendo 64 is filled to the brim with classic Nintendo 64 games. Banjo-Kazooie, like I said twice. Banjo-Tooie, of course. Donkey Kong 64. I'm serious, by the way. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and of course, Super Mario 64. Classic 3D platforming games have always been the biggest highlight of the N64. And why I think, while it's not my favorite Nintendo console ever, of course, I still think it's a special console that's very memorable. But there's one Nintendo 64 game that has me hooked a little, that I'm shocked that is not as talked about, and I even go as far to say it's a top 10 Nintendo 64 game in my opinion. And that, my friends, is a rather obscure game you probably never heard of before, or you probably have, you just never played it, or you never look at it much. Sin and Punishment. What the heck is Sin and Punishment, you may ask? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about this little underrated Nintendo 64 classic. Here we go. Alright, what you're seeing on screen is of course some gameplay, which hopefully isn't too boring for y'all, but this is going to be a rather shorter video due to the nature of this game, but I really wanted to talk about this game, so here we go. So, this game originally released, well, this game is mostly known in Japan. Well, it's pretty fair because it also came on NSO, and I got to play it, of course. I probably recommend changing out some controls so you can make sure it does well, but make sure the controls are solid, but yeah. So this character, Saka... Oh, excuse me. Saka Amami, I don't know, it's hard for me to say the name, but yeah, the main character of the game, basically, you're going around destroying the whole planet is in chaos, you have to deal with it, yeah, you can watch the whole thing yourself. So basically, this is like you'd think this plays like an arcade-ish kind of game, and yeah, it does have some elements that you see in like the arcade games. The timer up top, the score you can see, your health points. This is like almost as an arcade game, but that seems like an insult to this game, really, because there's actually more to this. Like, for an N64 game, like, you know, a lot of people complain about the N64 being a lack of variety, considering it's mostly 3D platformers, and I say that as a massive platforming fan, I could totally understand that. But Sin and Punishment at least adds something new to the table. This is a shooting game. You move forward automatically, and the cutscenes and the camera angles change when you just keep moving. So yeah, you're just basically shooting down some enemies and basically try to, you know, dodge some bosses and stuff. You jump, of course, to dodge enemies and stuff. It just feels really satisfying to play this game, honestly, and I do not know why, honestly. It just feels that great. So yeah. Now, of course, this game released in Japan. You gotta learn to understand and stuff. And they don't give you much options. You just go in without any introduction. I mean, kind of. There are cutscenes though, but you can just get right to the game, honestly, and it's honestly really good. So yeah. Now, of course, with the N64, the controls are not that hard to you know, master. There are points in this game though. You're gonna need to add in some button combinations to like some button combinations for certain boss fights. There was a point in the game where I had to deal with that and I didn't know what to do, but yeah, but besides that, Sin and Punishment is like one of my all-time favorite Nintendo 64 games, honestly. Like, I played this back when it came out. I've been needing to retry this game because I've heard amazing praise of this game. And yeah, it's just that good. Now, the only downside, really, it's literally like, if you're casually playing through it, it's like 2 hours long, basically. And that's seems like it's kind of funny it's only 2 hours long. You could beat this. How is a 2 hour long game even in the top 10? Well, I just think, in fact, it's just so unique and different compared to whatever I played. Now, I think a good comparison to this, although this came out later, like in the years, Kid Icarus Uprising, which has a similar vibe to it. If you play that, you'll probably understand that. So, that's what the vibe is you can get with this game, honestly. So, yeah. Overall, though, Despite being short and having some fuel extras if you care for that stuff, it has a lot of replay value, and overall, yeah, it's just that good, honestly. So yeah, but yeah, definitely would recommend, if you want a nice quick game you want to play through, Sin and Punishment is your answer, honestly. And I can totally say right now, it is a top 10 Nintendo 64 classic, honestly, that more people need to talk about. I would love to see Saki join the Smash Bros. Roster. I honestly see, there's not much request for Saki, but I can see him. I don't know, if there was one obscure character I wanted to add, it would be this guy, honestly, because I want more people to talk about it. Also, there is a Wii game of this. I haven't played it, and due to my computer not having the best, I would have to wait a while to try out the Wii version, but I would honestly like to try it at least, but no guarantees I would even make a video on that version. But yeah, Nintendo has always been a case of bringing back forgotten IPs. Who knows, maybe they could bring back this. Who knows though, honestly, so yeah. But Nintendo has been different handling their IPs. But some people still think Nintendo doesn't bring back old IPs. No, they just don't bring back the IPs you want. So yeah, I want Donkey Kong, a new Donkey Kong game, and a new Wario Land back. But saying Nintendo does not revive IPs is a lie. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go and end things off here. Sin and Punishment is amazing. Go play it. Yeah, a little short video, but a 2-hour-long game is about to be expected. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think of Sin and Punishment? If you played it at any capacity, let me know in the comments below. Later, folks.